Welcome back to another special video of the Hockey Nation Live Show. Today, we talk about the top 10 defensemen and UFA NHL 2021. So don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the Hockey Nation Live Show with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy, back in the booth today. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 defensemen UFA. It's coming the next couple of weeks, and we're going to do a great presentation to you. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget, please, to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on Facebook and YouTube channel. And also leave your comments about their selection of the top 10. We talk about this today, and share this with your friends or member or your family. So let's dive in right away with the top 10. And we're going to start Doug Hamilton. This is really surprised a little bit. They tried to negotiate during the season by the Carolina Hurricane, and then finally they decide, the team, to let him talk with other teams. So it will be really interesting. What's the next thing? Can he return to Carolina? Of course. What he can get, I believe he can get 8-8. He's only 28 years old. He's a 6'6". He was a 9 overall pick by the Boston Bruins in 2011. He's only played 600 game, guys, in NHL. He's also have 341 points with 105 goal. The last couple of years, I'll be honest with you, the last 3 years, Hamilton's getting better and better. He's on the peak of his age right now. So I think it'll be a great signature for any team right now looking for a great RD for their team. And also, he play average like 20 and 27 minutes second per game. Last season with the Carolina Hurricane, he played 55 games. He had 10 goals, 32 assists with 42 points, plus 20, and also 35-minute penalty with a TOI at 22.43. I consider him the top 10 best defenseman in NHL. So I think he can get. Now, the best way for a good team can have a good signature for him, 6-8. I think that'll be really, really good to get him on their team. Where do you think he's going to go? We have a many location in NHL right now looking for a defenseman. So it'll be interesting now with no Shea Weber out for maybe not maybe for the upcoming season, maybe for long term. Maybe never come back to play hockey. I think Montreal will be a great location for him to be. Can Marc Bergevin open up more money for him? Will be really interesting about that. But other team looking, I think Winnipeg is another location you can look about that. So number 2, Tyson Barrie. Tyson for the last couple of years traveled a lot from Colorado, Toronto to Edmonton. No looking now for another destination. I don't think so. Edmonton is going to pick him up after they sign or they trade for Duncan Keith, and they're looking to sign Adam Lawson. So the 64 overall pick 2009 by Colorado is looking for a new destination. Montreal, of course, is another way. Florida can open up there. Winnipeg, Arizona would be really interesting. How much he can get. For me, 5-5, that'd be great signature. He still is 29 years old. He played last season, full year, 56 games. He had 48 points last year. That's pretty good. Honestly, one of the top point in NHL by a defenseman. He played about 21, 24. During his career, he played already 610, like a little bit what Doug Hamilton is a little bit similar. 88 goals at 306 assists for 394 points. And also, he has that's why he's the biggest problem for him. It's only about the defensive side. Many of them can have a great speed transition with the puck, and they're really focusing on an offensive side, like power play, everything like that. Some of those players have difficult time on the defensive, so not strong enough on the body check or when you battle in the corner with the puck. So it's something Tyson Barrie has to get better. Can he get a new home? Of course, he will find a new home. Can he get a good team to sign him at 5-5? I think so. The best scenario would be 6-4. Can he open up for that one? Can you have anything we look at have him for a long term? That's something we're going to have an answer for the next couple of weeks for sure. The next two one I want to talk about is most two players have the same similar now play in NHL now. First, Cody Ceci, 27 years old. This is another one where he traveling a little bit like Dyson Barrie. Come from Ottawa to Toronto and then Toronto to Pittsburgh. He's a 50 overall pick in 2012 from Ottawa. He's 27 years old. He played that season a good year for the Pittsburgh. After he struggled with Toronto a little bit, he got 53 games last season, 17 points. He's not there for offensive. He's there for the defensive. He have a good year. He played average 18-31. So for me, he's about the second pair of the defensemen at any team in NHL. He played already 549 games in NHL, 143 points, and he played about 20 minutes. So 3.54 max. I will go with 3 and 4 or maybe 4 and 3. That's something similar he can go. And maybe if we return with Pittsburgh, would be interesting to follow with that location. But some team looking for a good defensive side as a second pair, I think that would be a great location to go. Again, Winnipeg could use him for sure. Then we have to go with Alex Cody Ceci. Well, listen, this guy is now 35 years old, played for a long time in NHL. At the beginning of his career for many years with Pittsburgh, have a good, more on offensive side. He still have 22 points last season and 56 game with Arizona. But I think now it's more like more both ways. He's not going to give you a lot of points anymore in NHL on offensive. He's not score like 8-10 goals per game. But again, per season. But again, I think he can be very good on the defensive side. Not big, but he with experience now, I think he can bring leadership also inside the locker room. He played already 924 games. He has 429 points. It's about 0.4 point per game. That's pretty good. And also he played about 22 minutes, 39 big minutes for the Arizona Coyotes. Bottom for me is more like a defense number 4 or defense number 5, 6. So I think he can bring that kind of the play. Not more at $3 million, maybe a contract at 2.5, and that's been the max I would give to him, to be honest with you. It will be interesting where he's going to be. The next two we talk about is Alex Martinez. First of all, Martinez have a great year with the Vegas Golden Knights. We know he was traded for the Los Angeles Kings, where he was drafted in 2007, 95 overall picks. The 33 years old, that's maybe his last good contract he can get. How much he can get? 3 and 4, that'd be a good number for me about that one there. He wants to go 4. He's going to be 37 at the end, not more at $3 million also. Great year like last year on an offensive side. He have 9 goals, 32 points, 53 games. I played 22, 34, top 4 for Vegas. Play sometime with Predangelo or Theodore. 660 game at 238 less. You can see he have less offensive compared to Barrie and Hamilton, but play more better on both ways, where he can be an offensive and a defensive for sure. 1941 overall he has on the TOI. Listen, many teams would love to have him. Can he resign over there, Vegas? Or would be my first thinking selection for him to go back over there, or Winnipeg. I really believe Winnipeg will need a guy like him that will help in their situation on the defensive side. The next one's Adam Larson. I'll be honest with you, he returned with Edmonton Oilers. I don't see him nowhere. 4 and 4, that'd be good. Or 6 and 4, that'd be great. Or 4 and 5 max. He's 28 years old. Great on the defensive coverage. He can bring a little bit offensive, but it's more on the defensive. Solid, can play as the second best. He's at the top 3 defense at any team, to be honest with you. And 20 minutes last year. They used him more last season in Edmonton as a second pair behind Tyson Barrie, play with Nurse. But he can be with Nurse on the right side for sure. He was a 4 overall pick in 2011 for the New Jersey Devils. We know he got traded again. Taylor Hall. He already played 600 games in NHL, 137. Again, it's not where he is really good is on the defensive side, win the battle, everything like that. So would be interesting. For me, he's don't go nowhere. He returned with Edmonton Oilers, like I said, 4-5 or 4-4 or 5-4. The next two is Brandon Montour and Mike Reilly. Both of them got traded at a trade deadline last season. First, Montour went for Buffalo to Florida, where he struggled, to be honest with you. I believe Montour is better what you saw with the Florida Panthers. I don't think so. He find his best way. He showed a couple of highlights, but not consistency, to be honest with you. He was a 55 overall pick in 2014 by Anaheim Ducks. We have a couple of great years over there. He's only 27 years old, played 50 games last season, 7 goals, 18 points. He's not too bad. Good sometimes on power play. He had -5, he had 20 minutes. Anything, second pair, defenseman, but him, I'll be honest with you, not more $4 million. 3-4, that'd be the best way I will go with him, not more that part over there. He have to show me more consistency to deserve a little bit more. He played almost 300 games in NHL with 109 points, 31 goals. And again, I think a couple of things will white leg. I don't see him to come back with Florida Panthers. Would be really interesting. Was the next destination. Mike Reilly, but this another one got traded at the deadline from Ottawa to Boston. Great year. To be honest with you, maybe one of the best with 27 assists and 55 games. It did well with the Boston Bruins when he traded over there. Can he return there? Possible. But again, I don't give him a lot of money there. $2 million, 28 years old. Can he get 2 and 2.5? Possible. Or 2 and 2 could be. He had really his best offensive side last season. Whatever he had no goal, he produced a lot on with pass. He played almost 20 minutes. He's always been low at that. I don't see him as a barely that, defense number 4. He's more like a 5 and 6. He's a left side, and he played well. He was a 98 overall pick in 2011 by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Can he return there? Possible. But again, I can see in many plays he can need a guy like him for sure. He can play sometime power play, but again, this is the bottom 6, 5 and 6 on my book, and I can see him about $2 million per season. Finally, the next two I want to talk about this for you guys is first David Savard, winner of the Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Listen, the 30 years old. He's a 2009 draft by the Columbus Blue Jackets, 94. He played all his entire NHL with the Columbus Blue Jackets before he got traded at the deadline. Tampa Bay paid a lot for him, first-round pick, forget him. He was only a rental. We're not sure about. I don't think so. He returned Tampa Bay because of the situation, money. Over there, 54 games. He has only 7 points. He is not there for that. He is really there for physicality and defensive side. And that's what, if a team, he is sure play on the top 4, defense 3 and 4, play 20 minutes per game. He's a right D, and he's already played like many of what you saw earlier, over 600 game with 166 points. And so it will be interesting about that. I don't see exactly what he can be, but how much he can get, guys, $4 million would be a good deal for him. That's what I said. At 30 years old, maybe a 4 and 4, but not much on that one over there. He won't go lower. Years 3 and 5 max. But for what he bring on the table, for what the money is very high, $4 million. That's what will be a good deal to go with him. To be honest with you, we'll be interested in what is the next destination for David Savard. Finally, we talk about the Zdeno Chara. Look, I just want to bring him on the table because he's a 44 years old. Played first time with the Washington Capitals. I don't see him to return over there. 10 point play, 55. He plays still 18 minutes per game. He's now become more a defense 4, 5, and 6. Can he resign? Can he return? Or can he retire? That's all the question, like anybody knows at that moment. I don't want to mention to you where he's going to be or whatever the chance. I have no clue, but I want to mention that part over there about Zdeno Chara. Finally, we have one more I want to mention to you. This is other defensemen are UFA. I believe you're going to find some home, and something is looking a low at $1 million or 1.5, 2 max. I'd spend on them. But I want to mention 2 names on that list. Ryan Sutter and Keith Yandel. Both of them got buy out by their team. They have a many team right now. At least half of the NHL team are looking for Ryan Sutter. Keith Yandel, I'm pretty sure 8 to 10 teams looking for him. Montreal is maybe a destination for him. Ryan Sutter, we more for Boston Islanders, where we heard recently, would be really, really interesting. But that list, guy, you have Jordan, Ben, Bokosian, Cole, Delzotto, Demers, Etler, Fulboard, Gus Benson, Green, and Vatanen, Amonik, Kulikov, Mikab, Montour, I'm sorry, he's still there, Nemeth, Rand Murray, Oleksiak, Pichi, Shane, Star. On that list, guy, I have one name, it's come to my mind, is Jimmy Oleksiak. I really believe he's a really solid top 4, a 2.0 Joel Edmondson. I think that's what a kind of player he is. He's going to find a home. He's going to get more money like anybody else on that list over there. Easily a $4 million for what he brings. So it'll be really interesting what is next for those defensemen you are free. I just want to share with you this before we leave. Of course, don't forget to leave your comment. Tell me what you think about my list, and we'll see what happens in July 28th when this is going to be open. Canadian Live Show is going to be live during that day to present all the signature happening during that day. Before we leave, of course, we have to remind you one more thing. Of course, you have greatness inside of you. Thanks again for watching another great video of the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your coach, Coach Frenchy. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody. Bonne journée, mes amis. On se reparle un peu plus tard.